Hello and welcome to this week's preview. It's the biggie as we preview the US Open Championship, the second major of 2020. Winged Foot hosts the US Open for the first time since Jeff Ogilvy won in extremely demanding conditions in 2006, finishing on +5. The Tillinghast Classic design is a brutally difficult par 70 track, measuring 7,477 yards. Thick rough surrounds the narrow fairways and heavily undulating greens are sure to test the players to the maximum this week in New York. Straight to the betting then, and my main selection is Dustin Johnson at 17-2. The world number one is a worthy favourite and undoubtedly the man to beat. In his last 4 tournaments, he has claimed 2 victories and 2 runner-up finishes. He was crowned the FedEx Cup champion with victory at the Tour Championship a couple of weeks ago. And during this recent run, he also narrowly missed out on the last major championship when the PGA Championship went to Colin Morikawa. He was runner-up that week in California. The 2016 US Open champion at Oakmont, Johnson also boasts 3 other top 4s in this event. His whole game looks in exceptional shape at the moment from tee to green and on the greens. There are just no weaknesses in his game. I'd expect a fired up world number one to be the man to beat this week at Winged Foot, and he is a confident selection at 17-2. Next up, we've got Xander Schauffele at 16-1. He's a major winner in waiting, and his record at this tournament is staggering. The American has finished inside the top 6 in all 3 starts at the US Open. He's also finished runner-up at the Open Championship and the Masters. It is surely only a matter of time before he lands his first major. I think it could come as early as this week. Schauffele warmed up in an impressive style. His last outing at the Tour Championship, he shot the lowest 4-round total across the 4 days, although Johnson won it on the handicap system. Last season, Schauffele ranked 7th for strokes gained tee to green and 2nd for scrambling. It's a potent combination of long game, assurance and ability on and around the greens. Schauffele absolutely relishes these tough conditions. I'd expect Winged Foot to be right up his street, and he is not going to go anywhere. It would be a big surprise if Schauffele does not feature on the leaderboard this weekend. At 16-1, he is a big each-way contender, and my second suggestion for this week. Third up from towards the top of the market, we go with Patrick Reed at 40-1. The 2018 Masters champion has a world-class short game, which is well suited to handling extremely tough conditions this week. He comes in off a strong performance at Eastlake, where he led the field for both driving accuracy and scrambling. If he takes that form in this week, he is a very likely contender at Winged Foot. His form at the US Open is encouraging. He was 4th at nearby Shinnecock Hills 2 years ago, and his record in New York is extremely impressive. He won at both Bethpage Black and Liberty National, so he's extremely comfortable in this part of America. Reed looks likely to contend this weekend as he challenges for his 2nd major title. Expect the American to go close at 40-1 each way. With 3 picks from towards the top of the market, I'm going for several outsiders this week who could pull off a surprise in New York. First up is Mackenzie Hughes at 150-1. The Canadian is enjoying an excellent run this season and is well worth backing at big odds. Highlights from this year include 2nd place at Honda Classic, 6th at Muirfield Village in the Memorial, and 10th at the recent BMW Championship. All 3 came on really difficult courses, and that bodes well for his chances of contending this week at Winged Foot. Last season, Hughes ranked 6th for strokes gained around the green and 8th for strokes gained putting. Now his razor sharp short game will be critical to his chances this week, and I feel he's got the confidence and ability on and around the greens to handle the demands this week. Wingfoot has some of the most undulating and slopy greens seen on the tour. They'll be exceptionally difficult, and 3 putts will be common for the field. But I think Hughes, with his recent confidence and ability with his short game, can keep the big numbers off his card. At 150 to 1, he shouldn't be ruled out. At exactly the same price, I'm also going in with Thomas Pieters. He's my European pick at 150 to 1. Now, he's a huge talent who's probably underachieved in recent years, but he looks very capable of claiming a major during his career. Don't forget, he top scored at the 2016 Ryder Cup in Hazeltine. He has also got some impressive form at American majors. He was 4th at the 2017 Masters and 6th a year later at the PGA Championship. This season, he's returned from lockdown with a 3rd place and 15th place finish at Celtic Manor in Wales. And listen to this, he leads the European Tour on strokes gained tee to green this season. He's also 2nd for strokes gained on approach. Now, his long game class can take him a long way this week. I wouldn't be surprised to see him feature this weekend. And don't forget the nappy factor too. Pieters recently became a father, and his more relaxed and mature attitude on the course could pay off this week. At 150 to 1, he is a decent each way outsider. But finally, my rank outsider to complete the 6 bets is Michael Thompson at 350 to 1. Don't discount the American at massive odds this week. He's worth considering, and he also won an event as recently as a few months ago. He won the 3M Open in July, a result that secured his place at Wingfoot, and that was a massive result for Thompson because he absolutely adores this track. He played it in the 2004 US Amateur and fell in love with the layout, and he's listed it as his favourite course in the world. Thompson will be relishing the chance to compete this week. Another thing worth bearing in mind is he was runner-up at the 2012 US Open at Olympic Club, where he handled brutally difficult conditions. He's a real grinder, bases a lot of his game on his driving accuracy and excellent touch on the greens. This is a strong combination for this week's test, and I can see Thompson grinding his way into the each way places this week. A quick recap on the selections then, and I will go with Dustin Johnson as my main bet at 17 to 2, followed by Xander Schauffele at 16 to 1, and Patrick Reed at 40 to 1. Of my outside bets, Mackenzie Hughes at 150 to 1, and Thomas Pieters at 150 to 1, are followed by Michael Thompson at 350 to 1. You can also see my written preview of the event online at Watford Tipster on Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the coverage. Best of luck with your bets this week. It'll be fascinating to see how the players handle this brutal challenge at Wingfoot. So don't forget to place your bets before Thursday afternoon and enjoy the golf. We'll be back next week.